All right, shalom, shalom. His mercy salutations unto the Lord's affection. So um, wow, while the Lord gave this kingdom or queendom into the hands of the so-called white man, which is the devil, his lieutenant, which is that black woman, and then so-called and and Pookie. They've all been running amok while the supervisor, the father has not, has had his men, in slavery, captivity, you know. So that's the Most High is about to bring a great correction to our people, because a fatherless people, that's a stiff necked people, you know, full of just all the worst characteristics, because of the lack of discipline. But the Lord's about to discipline them, you know. He said scourges for amendment, man. You know, so they had their time, to continually run amok, but the Most High is sending them plagues for amendment, and he's setting up the fathers, the fathers of the promise, You know, that's what he's setting up. Um, Faithful men, he said, he left in charge of his inheritance, his heritage. You know, so hence he will set up the house of David. He said, "House of David shall be his guide." So that's the thing. The Most High has to set up a correction, because these people been running amok. Namely the devil and Eve, man. They've been running amok. Alongside the special guest, uh, Thugnificent. These Thugnificent niggas. They're the special guest of mayhem. But the Most High is setting up the fathers according to the Spirit. Like the Most High is setting back up the 12 patriarchs, man. He's setting up the forefathers, man. He's setting up the great men. Like Zebulon himself. Uh, uh, Naphtali, all the forefathers, man. Gad, Reuben. The Lord said that's his strength. You know, Firstborn, man. Ephraim. Ephraim be fruitful and multiplied. In that time, but uh, that's what the Lord's doing. He set up the fathers. Judah, Benjamin. She was speaking about the princes, Benjamin. Okay, Psalms 68 chapter. So they're gonna put the discipline back in these people, man. They're gonna bring the rod of correction, if you will, because everything's too far gone. The Most High is gonna bring the destruction. He's gonna bring discipline, order by way of His word, His right hand. It's gonna bring the destruction and deliverance, to His people, man. So that's the belt, the correction. You know, that's gonna be done by His right hand. But through what's prophesied, the Most High would set up the fathers. Pursuant to what it says in Sirach, the 46th chapter. So let us praise, famous men and our fathers that begat us, which are, you know our forefathers made us Israelites. Right? That's why Scripture says, "Seek out the old paths, wherein is the right way, the way of our forefathers." Jeremiah 6:16. You know. Um, so ultimately, these rebellious jakes, they need the ultimate form of correction, which is the grave. But in the kingdom, they'll have much. much to look forward to, because Most High is gonna give them the greatest tutelage by way of their fathers. They're gonna finally the curse gonna be lifted off of them. They're gonna have what I'm saying, you brothers out there as their fathers. Because what these people don't understand is that the Most High is setting up the ancients that were before the house. Ezekiel the ninth chapter. Scripture says start with the ancients that were before the house. All right. Which ultimately that's what the Most High is setting up. To perform the mercy that was promised to our fathers. Right. Luke chapter 1, verse 70. 69, it says, and he raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hands of all them that hate us. It says to perform the mercy promised to our fathers and to remember his holy covenant. Yeah, yeah, because you know that's the mercy Most High promised to our fathers. And say disobeyed. Most High correct you in due measure. And give you up to that curse, which that's one of the heaviest curses. Even though you hate the prophets, that's why they hate because ultimately they come in the stead of your fathers, which and a lot of times Jay lacks, which is not necessarily your fault, but at the end of the day we're all paying for the curses, so um, then that's why it for the most part be hard for them to receive this truth because it comes to them in a way that they never been taught. So at the end of the day, they're corrupted by this world, and they're too far gone. That's why I said Matthew 9th chapter and 16th verse. You can't put new wine in old bottles, unless they burst, bottles break. You know, which ultimately, the only ones that could retain this truth is the 144,000 and the 1/3. Just one of Revelation the 14th chapter. No man can learn that song, but 144,000 redeemed from the earth. Which the Lord said, Deuteronomy 28:68, no man should redeem thee. So the redemption, is by the Lamb. That was found worthy said to open up the seals of the book, Revelation the 5th chapter, and gives this understanding which by way is how the Lord is correcting his people in measure. In the sight of so-called white men, they told this devil in Psalms the 50th chapter he would do. Um, so the ones of you that don't receive that correction, the Lord said He's gonna correct you by fire. Because he already made that clear in Zechariah the 13th chapter in the 8th verse. Um, said 2/3, uh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, and the third part shall be refined through fire. They're gonna get through that fire because Isaiah 33rd chapter in the 6th verse. You know, wisdom and knowledge should be stability at times and the strength of that salvation. Fear of the Lord, His treasure, but that fear of the Lord only comes by way of toiling in His truth and understanding and wisdom by way of experience. It says in Romans the 5th chapter, experience worketh hope, hope, patience, So you gotta have all that. All that comes by way of toiling in this work. That's why the scripture say, "Work your work 8 times." Sirach the 51st chapter. That's the 30th verse. Because therein lies the key. Therein lies the key to continually seek the Lord. It said, "Make no tarrying." And Sirach the fifth chapter and 7th verse. Make no tarrying. Turn to the Lord. Because you know the scripture said that the Lord cometh a thief in the night. So put off the Lord day to day. But suddenly come the wrath. So ultimately, that's why the fathers that look for the promise. And those fathers that look for that promise are the fathers really of the nation. that the Lord raised up first. He said he raised up the 10th to Judah first, right? And then he said Elijah, right? He'll come back in Malachi, right? He said that he will come back and turn the heart of the fathers to the sons. Rough paraphrase. So tongue twister. But ultimately, he would he would return bangers back to his truth, you know, um, as John, and then ultimately Abba, in these times. But um, that's the correction, because see, Jake began corrected ever since the truth came out, and measured the Lord's been chastising us, in order to get us right for the day. Scripture said, "Me present you a chaste virgin, um, blameless." A chaste virgin. It says, 2 Corinthians 11 and verse 2. It says, "For I'm jealous over you with godly jealousy, for I've espoused you to one husband, that I might present you as a chaste virgin to your house, as a chaste virgin." So that's a thing that must, you know, you, you got to toil, back in the ancient world, even to afford, a virgin. 'Cause it wasn't just like, oh, you have polygamy, and it was just like you had to be of a stature, even back then, because a bitch always been a bitch. She always been a gold digger, So she's always been after the shekels. The scripture say an adulteress will hunt for the precious life, And back then it was just a little bit more civilized, But you still have to pay for, it, in the manner of speaking, But yeah, not always, um, but the law does say that that was the case, in many instances, But but see, the Lord put us, through all this toiling, to make us a chaste virgin again, you know, to get us out. Because Scripture say in the Acts 14:22, it says through exhorting the souls of the disciples, yeah, through much tribulation must enter to the kingdom. You know. So confirming, no, it said confirming the souls of the disciples. Through much tribulation must enter into the kingdom. So, we're gonna be purified. We have to go through that fire. That's the bitterness of this truth, which ultimately, John the Revelator told us. As he ate the roll, became bitter. Even when they seen the prophecies, but the visions had them transits. Had to fast for 7 days. Ezra's. The Lord had to go on 40-day fast. Um, so this was no joke. The men of the Lord, they was actually Stoics. So they was locked in as they was addicted to this ministry. So and anything that you want to master, see, that's another thing. Like everybody wants to do a million things at one time, and really you got to master one thing, become a master. Like either in this life, either you're gonna master one thing or be a see. They don't have no discipline. That's why the curse is so heavy, because of the lack of just chaotic disorders, because the father, because of that damn serpent, devil, white man, and that woman, that poisoned the well of what you call to the young black youth, the young Latino youth. They're all moles, feminine species, walking around masquerading, doing all this weird shit, worry about all this other shit, trying to shoot you or anything, you know. Then, it's a dangerous thing to be around when he's young rascals. Now, sound like some old head, but um, nah. But sometimes you do feel, can I be in his truth make you stoic, ultimately, and then you just depart from them. So you just at the end of the day, you don't have no dealings with these people. So the Most High, he gonna have Jake doing a lot of correcting in times to come, because a lot of our people, obviously the ones that don't make it, but the ones that's out there, we got to teach them the truth. Also, but the scriptures say Psalms 110:3. That people shall be in the day that power. Ultimately we're in the kingdom. We're all gonna be perfect, but we're still gonna have to do a cleaning of this earth, man. Everything that's been toiled, that's been torn apart by the destructive force that is the devil, this Edomite, you know, and his companions, it's thugnificent of and these 50 cents, they represent like the companion, those like you know these Ja rules, they still exist. They're out there. They can never like it's it's just a sad thing, because the system has created this, for Jake. They put Jake in this predicament, which in a lot they got, man. But the Most High, that's why he's had mercy on us, because we could all have been, in these different situations, So, a lot of times Jake, complains, but you know, ultimately we're blessed, to be in this position to understand this. Even though we're gonna go through trouble, the Most High is gonna be with us, because He already corrected us, but He gonna have us doing a lot of judgment, Lord willing. You continue on the path, man. The Most High is gonna have you, because the Scripture say He's gonna judge the 12 tribes of Israel. On Matthew the 19th chapter, He told the 12. Ultimately, that extends to the election. You're gonna sit, in the judgment seat. Having to dictate. That's why the Lord is putting you through all these situations, all these small. Scripture tell you, be not ignorant in a small matter nor a great. Even though it's a small matter, or even a great matter, it's all about understanding. Scripture say, well, all that getting get understanding. So it's all about understanding. And Jake don't understand by only by way of the force of the sword, man. No, ultimately, because because Jake get a whooping, spiritual whooping, but ultimately the Lord gonna bring the sword, which is ultimately um He gonna slay them with the sword, man. And Luke the 19th chapter, He gonna delete them. All right. Luke 19 and verse 27. But those are my enemies who not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay before me. Right. Those are my enemies which should not that I should reign over them. All right. They're gonna be brought hither and they're gonna be slain before him. So so what's that was given a sword, given a sword of judgment on these niggas, man. Jeremiah 16 verse 16. The Lord said He's gonna send for fishing. Right now you're fishing. And ultimately then you're gonna be sent. It says they shall fish them, and after I will send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain, from every hill, and out the holes of the rocks. That's right. So you're gonna be given the opportunity to ultimately the Lord probably expect on some of these damn demons and these people that have Lord gonna send you a couple missions, just like some like the boss. He gonna send you on some missions, brother. Certain brothers are the spirit. Brothers be joking around, about these kind of things. Certain brothers got certain tasks, man. And Most High gonna give them. The brothers already got that spirit, so they'll be designated. The Lord said He created spirit, create for vengeance. There's His short strokes appease the wrath of them that made them. Sirach 39 verse 27 says, all these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinners they turn to evil. There be spirits that crave for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sword strokes. In the time of their destruction they pour They force and appease the wrath of him that made them. That's right. So they appease the Most High. Ultimately, the Most High create right hand spirits, left hand spirits, and it's all a matter of the Most High using you know using all of them according to His will, as it says in Sirach 18:3. And also He use us to speak. Ultimately, eventually, the Lord's going to use you brothers also to execute judgment, as He said. As you read, in Jeremiah 16th chapter. Because you're sent right now as just sheeps in a diplomatic fashion, in a democratic place, right? So called. So you gotta use, and when Rome, do as the Romans. You gotta use democracy. These people was putting out weapons and this shit, things of that nature. So these different swindlers, troublemakers, like the brothers would say. All right. So it said Matthew 7:15. It says, "Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep clothing, but inwardly they are raven and wool. You shall know them by their fruit. Do man gather grape of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree cannot bring forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bring forth evil fruit. And a good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a good tree bring forth good fruit. For every tree that bring forth not good fruit is hewn down, cast to the fire, whereby by their fruits you shall know them. Um, for not everyone that say unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of the Most High of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in a day, Lord, Lord, have I not prophesied in thy name? In thy name cast out devils, in thy name done many wonderful works. And then I will say, I'll prophesy unto them, or profess unto them, I never knew you, depart from me, you that work iniquity. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man that which built that house upon a rock. When the rains descended, floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them shall be like it, doeth them not, like it, shall be likened unto a foolish man which built his house upon sand. And the rains descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and fell, and great was the fall of it. And it came to pass, when Yahushua had ended these sayings, the people were astonished at his doctrine, for he taught them as one having authority and not as the scribes, right? Because the scribes was teaching faithless, weak ass spirit, because the Lord said He didn't give us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. All right. So the Lord came, He taught with authority, man. With faith. That's the only way possible to please Him. Hebrews 11:6. So that's the thing. Our people don't believe, so they despise His discipline. Scripture say, Scripture is sent for our correction. And in all forms. Sometimes we gotta accept. No, it's ultimately, the Most High kept for our good. It says Sirach 32 and verse 14. Whoso feared the Lord, Yahweh Shemashai, will receive His discipline, and they that seek Him early shall find His favor. He that seeketh the law shall be filled therewith, but the hypocrite will be offended thereat. And they that fear the Lord shall find judgment, and shall kindle justice as a light. For a sinful man will not be reproved, but find an excuse according to his will, and that's our people. They find an excuse. They're full of excuses. They're ready for anything except, you know. That's why they hate you. That's why they'll say, That's why they'll say, that they'll totally reject you. They'll basically spit at what you're saying. You know, anything you tell them, is stiff necked. Because of their fatherless nature. You know? So whoso fear the Lord will receive His discipline, and they that seek Him early shall find favor. All right. Ultimately, that's the favor that we're looking for. All right. So where it says, Sirach 41:14, it says, "My children keep discipline and peace, for wisdom that's hid and the treasure that's practiced." You know, as the rulers of the people is, that says in Sirach the 10th chapter, but Isaiah 3:12, children of the oppressed and women rule over them. As they're running amok in this society, the the children aren't being kept in discipline and peace. You know, for that wisdom is hidden. All right, the wisdom that's hid is in the men of the Lord. Which ultimately the Lord's going to set upon that high mountain. It says in Matthew 5. A city can be that's set on a hill can be hid. The light of the world. Wisdom that's hid and the treasure that is not seen. What profit is in them both? Right now is no profit, and that's why they're calling you unprofitable servants. The scriptures call you unprofitable servants. You know, because you're being hidden. You know, all right. But the Lord told you that was the way. So that's the way. Walk ye in it, man. All right. Baruch 4 and verse 13. For they knew not his way, his statutes, nor walked in his ways of his commandments, nor trod in the paths of discipline and his righteousness. Let them that dwell about Zion come and remember ye the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting have brought upon them. Ultimately, you're in captivity because of your lack of adherence, man. And we all struggle with that from from um from kids all the way to adults. You know what I'm saying? Jacob's are hard-headed people. But the Most High, when we heard this truth, the Most High forced us into this. Because he said, just like Jonah, man. Jonah ain't had no choice, man. Most High will force you. Okay. So it says, I read 17 and verse um 17 said, for in the division of the nations of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people. But Israel is the Lord's portion. And Israel being the Lord's portion is a fatherless nation. All right. Um, all right. And one who being called the firstborn, his firstborn, he nourished it with his discipline, which he scourged every son when he received it. Sirach, Hebrews, the 12th chapter. It says, and giving him the light of his love doth not forsake him, even though, in a dark place, like Rihanna said in that song, they found love in a hopeless place. The Most High gave us his love in a hopeless place. And a damn demonic evil um fester society. A bleak outlook. There's a bleak outlook in this place. But the Most High, he nourished it with discipline, all right, by way of the prophets, ultimately, because they out there cursing Jake out, continually, which ultimately they could feel that vibration. Even when we was out there, in Jersey and stuff. The first thing, well, it was just a spirit. They out there, over there disrespecting us, calling us names, you know, and shit like that. You know, when they're in numbers, when there's like 5 or 6 of them. And that's the spirit, because that's your people. They don't know you know, that really that they're speaking to their fathers. That's the spirit. But that's why when the Lord came on the scene, he said, "What? Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do." They don't truly understand. Like when the scriptures tell you, matter of fact, we gotta get that too. It said, "Whoso curseth father and mother, you know, shall put to death." Okay, if you curse your father and mother, you're a bastard. And the Most High, he begat us by our spiritual fathers, really. Because really, that's what Jake was missing. his prophets. His that's how our Lord spoke by his servants, the prophets. All right. It says Sirach 3 and verse uh it says verse 9, for the blessing of the father established the house of children, but the curse of the mother root thy foundation. And glory not in the dishonor of thy father, for thy father's glory is no dishonor unto thee. For the glory of a man is from the honor of his father, and a mother in dishonor is a reproach to her children. My son, help thy father in his age, and grieve him not as long as he live. If his understanding fail him, have patience with him, and despise him not. And when thou art full strength, for the relieving of thy father shall not be forgotten. Instead of sins should be added to build thee up in the day of thine affliction. I should be remembered. Thy sins also shall melt away as the ice in fair, warm weather. It's right, because the Lord said, to honor them. Which ultimately, you're supposed to honor your carnal parents as well. But you know, how much more, those that taught you the truth. You know, likewise, But even though you don't know them or whatever, you might not. But the one thing you're not gonna do is you're not gonna curse. You're not gonna be a demon towards the Most High. Like when Moses, when his sister spoke out against him, the Most High just plagued her. Right then and there, the Most High just plagued her. So he gave her leprosy, man, in Numbers, the 12th chapter. So you know, the Most High, he respect. He said he's take respect to his chosen. That's why when Elijah, they was trying to disrespect Elijah, the little children got ate up by the she bear. All right, they got mauled to pieces. All right, and that's the Most High. You see, because the Most High said, "Touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm." That's what he said. He said, "Rebuke kings for their sakes." All right, when the Most High he was dealing with Samuel, man. Everybody was shook. All right, that's why they was always afraid of prophets. See, when the mama is in the house with the kids and shit, everybody's wearing muck and a ruckus. The dad come in and whoop all these people ass, man. And everybody, that's how back in the day, it always was, and it's always been, because that's how it's always, but not always. They always paint, Jake as the villain. The script tell you not to be a lion in your own house, but when the time comes, you have the man, the one that put his foot up everybody's ass, and the belt has not been executed on the so-called Black Latino American nation as a whole, and you can see the outcome. Okay, plus the captivity, you know, and financial oppression and slavery, play a insurmountable role that these devils try to downplay. But that's how this place was established, on this form of oppression. All right, the curse of mother ruin our foundation, for the blessed of the father established the house. All right, so 16 verse, for he that forsake his father is a blasphemer, and he that anger his mother is cursed to the Most High. My son, go in that business with meekness, and so shalt thou be beloved of him that's approved. All right, for the greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor for the Most High. For many in a high place and of renown, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek. For the power of the Lord is great, and he is honored of the lowly. All right, so if you forsake your father, you blaspheme, and ultimately that's why the Lord told you, "Cursed be he that um that curses father and mother." Man, there's a generation, Proverbs 30 and verse 11. There is a generation that curseth their father, and doeth not bless their mother. There's a generation that's pure in their own eyes, and yet is not washed from their filthiness. There's a generation, oh, how lofty are their eyes, their eyelids are lifted up. There's a generation whose teeth are as swords, and their jaw teeth are knives, to devour the poor from off the earth, and the needy from amongst men. All right, so hey, A Most High, a when he sent his son, a the Lord, the Lord, he was he was dealing with Jake, in a similar fashion, of course, because that's how he was. The Lord was an austere man, So, but at the end of the day, he was peaceful, because he would have been. They were trying to accuse the Lord, so he had to. But at the end of the day, he said, "If this was my kingdom, my servants will fight." That's what he told these devils. Well, that's what he told. Or actually, that's what he told his disciples. Um, when he tried to cut the ear off. You know, when he tried to cut Malchus' ear off. Taking matters into their own hands. Avenge not themselves. The Lord said, "Avenge not yourselves." You know. Okay, so it said Matthew chapter 15, verse 4. So for the Most High commanded, saying, "Honor thy father and thy mother. For he that curse father and mother, let him die that death." That's right. Whosoever shall say to his father or mother, "It's a gift by whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me," and honor not his father or his mother, he shall be free. Thus he shall be made. Thus have ye made the commandment of the Most High of none effect by your tradition, ye hypocrites. What did Isaiah speak of you? This people draw nigh unto me with their mouth and honor me not with their lips, but their heart is far from me. That's right. So, yeah, because there's a people that that will deal wickedly with each other, and then praise the Most High. Their daughters with the mama with the daughter. Everybody's it's just a mess. When we look at these people, because where's the father? The father, they've been pushed out. Everything's you know, and they try to supplant your authority, man. What the Lord said that they would do in Jeremiah 31:22. You know, so ultimately, the Most High is setting up the father of the nation to take over really the whole world, but ultimately judge the mountain of Esau, but really set up the government of Israel on the earth, which will be to rectify and correct these people, which have a lot of potential, but they're just scattered all over the place, pursuing James 1:1, and cursed, and blinded with astonishment of heart, but the Lord said he will come with healing his wings, Malachi 4:2, you know. All right, and that vision is yet for an appointed time, which right now is speaking, so that's that's for correction. The word Lord is what? For reproof. All scripture, 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 14. But thou continue in all things which thou hast learned, and has been assured of knowing whom thou hast learned them, and that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith, which is in Hamashiach Yahushua. All scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of the Most High may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works. Yes, so the word Most High is for doctrine, reproof, correction, and instruction in righteousness. And there's a people that need a correcting. The scripture say, who can make a crooked thing straight? That's why our Lord told us ultimately to leave them alone. But hey, this ain't the Most High. He sent for hunters, So hey, that's gonna be a form of correction as well, man. Because the Lord's balanced, man. As His mercy is great, so it's His correction. I'll leave with that. Sirach 16 and verse um 11. It says, "For if there be one stiff-necked amongst the people, it is a marvel if he escape unpunished. For mercy and wrath are with him, and he is mighty to forgive and to pour out his displeasure. As his mercy is great, so is his correction also. For he judges a man according to his works." That's right. So, the Most High bring correction by way of the fathers, man. You know. by way of as he did before. When Moses on the scene, the people had to tremble, even though they was talking shit. Data, Corey, and Abraham, they got ate up. All right. There be judgments, talking shit about the Lord's men, Most High get your ass. You trouble the building. If you trouble the building, the Most High get you, man. Most High deal with you. All right, because the Most High, he don't play about his men, All right. Lord got special uh preference for his men, starting with his men, then the Israelites, all right, which begot the nation. It says here, 2 Ezra 1 and verse 38. It says, now, I forgot. It says, now, brother, behold, what glory, and see the people that come from the east, unto whom I will give for leaders Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Hosea, Amos, Micah, Joel, Abadiah, Jonas, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, and Malachi, which is called also the angel of the Lord. And so, these men will be sent for correction. All right, fathers, these are like the fathers of the promise. The Lord gave them that promise, that spirit. Abraham was a great father of many people, and for in glory there was not like unto him. That says in Sirach the 44th chapter. So the Most High, he sent up his men, the house of David, which spiritually was with him from the beginning. All right. As I was watching the Elder Yeswamba, I was watching his video earlier, which is a good video. I think it was about the election, I forgot the title. But I think it was like one of the recent ones. And also the elect have the the prophets come back with more knowledge than before. All right, which these are the fathers, that come back to interpret back the word again, because they left behind the word, so they come back to those that was helping them, those that was believing back then as witnesses, come back in a lot. Those are scoffers as well. All right, everybody comes back in the same lot, as it says in Revelation, first chapter. Even them that pierced the Lord, they'll see him again, and they'll be doing the same wickedness, working against, plotting against the Most High and his son, these devils, doing the same thing that they would in the Roman Empire, So with that, I call him like Hawa by Hashem, Yahushua by Hashem, Bakakwadash. All right, and to Wabla, Shalom.